the Dole Edge. This is our podcast where we talk about ridiculous things that make us happy. My name is Shay.
And I'm Bobbi.
And this is our finale for this season, episode 35.
Wow.
I know, can you believe that? How many we've done this season? That's a lot.
How many did you do last season?
30.
Oh!
So this is overall number 65 plus all the shorts, which is fun.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's a lot of
like
content.
Yeah,
congratulations. Well done.
Yeah,
good job.
Yay, us.
Yay, us.
Shakes on hands.
I know, shakes on hands. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It was super fun. So, for our finale, we issued one another another challenge, sort of, to read one of our favorite books. So I gave each other's favorite books. Yeah. So I gave Bobbi a book, and she gave me a book, and we both read them.
Technically, we both gave each other a book, and then we both were like, no thanks, and then we
That's true.
one more time did.
That's true. Because the first book I gave you was The Scarlet Pimpernel, right?
Yeah, and I had already read it.
Right. Which is my favorite book.
Yeah.
For sure.
Which was still good.
Yeah.
It's still a good one. Recommend. We don't recommend, but it was good.
Yeah. If we were in the vein of recommending, that would be a good recommendation.
It's not a recommended. Some books you're like,
never again.
Never utter that again.
And then the first one that you gave me was The Dresden Files, which is one of your favorite books.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that one is
okay.
Real Life Chicago.
It is.
It is. In which Shay does not like Real Life Chicago.
Apparently, I really don't. No, it was good though. I need to caveat this because if you can handle more gore than murder and more gore than I can handle. Whoa, the writing was fantastic.
She only read 16 pages.
I did, but in that 16, it hooked me, dude. I was like super excited. I was like, frick, this is amazing. This is so good. I loved the writing of it, but then we got to that first scene, that murder scene, and I was like, too much.
I started reading the second. I'd already read the first one, and then I read all of them. But rereading the second one, I was like, oh yeah, this one's probably fine. This one's probably fine. And I'm like, never mind, she's not gonna like this.
So the Dresden Files were a bit too much for me. However, good writing.
Okay.
So, what was the book we were talking about?
Shay ended up getting the Skulduggery Pleasant.
Yes.
The first one. I don't know what the real title is. They're just all Skulduggery Pleasant. I think there's 15 books or something?
There's 18 now.
18. That makes sense. And so you read the first one, and I ended up reading Zorro.
Mm-hmm. The first
original.
One. Yeah.
The beginning.
That was when it was printed in the dime magazines. I can't remember what they used to call those, but it was printed serially in the magazines. So like a comic book, but magazine.
Oh, you get little chunkers.
And they called them penny dreadfuls, I think is what they called them.
Oh.
Yeah, because you weren't paying a whole lot for the magazine that you were getting. So I think they're called penny dreadfuls. Anyway, I have to go. My early 1900s history is atrocious. Don't really know what I'm talking about.
Am I right?
It's got to be older than 1850, and then I can talk about it with reasonable understanding. But it was printed kind of like how Charles Dickens printed his in newspapers, and it was originally printed as The Curse of Capistrano. So if you'd get your weekly magazine, that's how it came out, was The Curse of Capistrano. But then when they printed it in book form, they changed it to The Mark of Zorro. So that's why it's like that. That's why sometimes you can find it in book form as The Curse of Capistrano.
I wondered. That's why I was like, is this the one that I'm supposed to be reading? Because when I look it up on the library app, there was that guy and that guy.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to find. But you want any edition that says The Mark of Zorro is going to be the easier one to follow. Plus, the story never talks about a curse anyway.
No, it does not.
It was dumb. So changing it to The Mark of Zorro was a good move on their part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe he had a plan and it just wasn't working.
Maybe Zorro was supposed to be considered the curse to the government.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it was called that. But Mark of Zorro is way more a better title for it.
Yeah.
I had questions for you.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What did you think of it? Just tell me what you thought of the book overall.
I thought overall it was pretty good. It was kind of repetitive. The things that would happen. Something would happen. He'd be like, He would show up as Zorro. This is, sorry for spoilers. He'd show up as Zorro. You don't know he's Zorro. He would then do something, and then he'd come back as himself, and then be like, "What? That's what happened? Are you sure it's not this? Huh?
Right."
And then it would happen again and again and again until the end, which I don't hate, but at the same time, I'm like, stop.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense though because it was of the way it was printed.
Oh yeah. Knowing that, that totally makes sense. Each little chunk would be like, that makes sense. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I liked it. Did think while I was reading this, I was like, this is just like Scarlet Pimpernel.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I was like, is this your MO? Because I know my MO is detectives, whatever, murder mysteries. Like, that's my jam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, do you just like rich guys that are like, I need justice and I can't be myself and do it? I gotta hide and do it.
Yes, I think I do, because I like Batman too.
That's why I was like, she likes Batman. I think I was talking to Emily or somebody and was like, I think she likes Batman characters.
I do like
Just
Batman
like,
characters.
I'm rich and I'm gonna fix it.
I like that idea.
In an unorthodox way.
I think I like it because it harkens back to yes, but it harkens back to a medieval idea actually, and I think that's just the kind of personality, and that's why I glom onto it, because the supposed social contract between barons and their serfs was that yes, you'll give me your taxes, yes, you'll give me your food, you'll work for me, but when push comes to shove, I will go and bleed and die for you on the battlefield, and that was the social contract. And so I love to see the social contract being fulfilled by wealthy people like Don Diego, like Sir Percy, like Bruce Wayne, where they're like, what is happening to you poor peons is not correct. I will go and take care of it. I will go fix it for you.
But it's funny that the fact that they don't just walk out and be like, I'm the mayor, stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they can't. All of them have legitimate reasons why they can't do it. Robin Hood kind of is the same, depending on the version you follow. But like, they can't do it because you can't work inside the law because the current law is corrupt. And so they're going to bring it back to where it's supposed to be.
Why can't you change the current law?
Because they're not powerful enough. So they're rich, but they're not rich enough to take over everyone else.
So they don't like to be Tony Stark about it. You can't be Tony Stark. Where you're
Tony Stark did it with weapons.
No, he changed his weapons. He was like, "Oh, I'm a bad guy."
Yeah.
Just kidding. There we go.
Right. The Iron Man suit didn't terrify any of the other terrible human beings on the planet.
Who it was.
Yeah, that's fair. Do they know in the comic books who Tony Stark is?
I don't know that. I don't know. I've only seen the movies.
Well, someone on the internet tell us what's the difference between Tony Stark in the comics and the movies.
I think they know. He's pretty like,
yeah.
This is me and I want the credit.
Don't you think he's an aberration compared to other superheroes though? Like no one else is out there revealing their secret identity. I mean, Captain America, I guess.
You say he doesn't wear a mask.
Yeah.
Some of them don't wear masks.
Well, I think they also just don't want the bother of it. Because if you think about all of those personality types, Bruce... The
bother of it?
Yeah.
There isn't a bother of having to run away, be like, I have to pretend to be like, I'm tired. And then run away and then come back and do the work and then come back and be like, man, I'm so tired.
I don't think they want everyone to know who they are so that they can come bug them. I think they're like, nope, I'm going to keep my privacy. I'm just going to use my money for good. Bam.
Build a fence, man.
I guess you've got enough money. Go ahead and build a fence.
Yeah, hire a bodyguard.
No.
No, hard stop.
It is my archetype. This is the type of
visiting hours are not right now. We cannot take any more appointments. Eiffel. Trying to change the laws here.
Okay, so with that comparison to Scarlet Pimpernel to Don Diego though, if I had read Zorro first, the whole Zorro series, I think I would have liked Zorro better.
You think so?
Than Percy, yeah. And I don't think that the writing is as good. I do think Baroness Orski's writing is better, but I do think that the Zorro writer, I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head.
Beats me, man.
Anyway, I think that his is more simplistic and more accessible.
Oh, yeah.
So if you like that kind of trope, I think the Zorro books are better.
Oh, for sure. I get what you're saying. Yeah, Zorro was way more like anybody.
Anybody could read it.
Like, I feel like I understood the Scarlet Pimpernel just because I'd seen the play. I've heard you talk about it. I had known some things prior, and then because if I just went into it cold, there were even going into it how I went into it. Like there were some parts where I'm like, I don't know what's happening. We're gonna carry on.
You have to know some history. You have to know some
some business.
Yeah.
I think it did help seeing the play because you can like physically see what's happening.
Yeah.
But
did I have any questions for you about Zorro? I gotta read my paper here. It's so boring for everybody online.
Shay always does the work.
I do. You do all the...
I wing it. So I'm like...
I do all the paperwork, but you do all the
technology.
The technology, because there's no way on planet Earth I'm doing that. No. Okay, let's talk about Skulduggery Pleasant, because I have any questions about Zorro.
What do you... Oh, I don't have any questions for it. Well, I guess, what do you think about it?
Loved it.
Did you?
I loved it.
What?
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun that whole book.
Yeah, okay, good.
Like, right from the beginning, it was fun.
Yeah?
Right out the gate. I was like, oh, I'm involved. And the thing, I love action sequences in books.
Yeah.
When they're bite-sized enough that you're not like, and then the plane, and then the train, and then the snowman, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's too much.
Yeah, yeah.
But when they're like really compact, very clear as to what's happening.
Yeah.
And they just flow with the story. It's not like they clearly wrote this action sequence and then put a story around it.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate that in books.
Yeah.
This book not only nailed its important action sequences, it nailed every action sequence, and every single chapter has an action sequence in it.
Oh my gosh.
Is just pounds you from the very beginning of just like instant peril for someone you instantly love, and it just goes from the very first chapter.
I'm gonna have to reread this.
Oh,
I mean, I remember like some, but like every chapter. Who was your favorite character? Who did you like the best out of there?
Okay, well, I mean, you're supposed to say Skulduggery.
Are you?
Yes, I think you are supposed to say Skulduggery because he's, the
he's
walking wizard skeleton of doom, right? Super cool character.
Yeah.
And then I think you're then supposed to say the main girl character, who initially is called Stephanie, but then she picks her name, which is a cool whole part of the system of magic.
How did she get Cain?
Oh no, I don't remember why she picked Cain, but I remember Valkyrie.
Valkyrie makes sense, and but I'm like, I've thought about it, and I'm like, why did you pick Cain?
I'll have to go read that again. I don't know, I was just excited by it.
Yeah.
Valkyrie, Cain.
But,
so that was a cool.
So if you're supposed to like them guys, who did you actually like?
I actually liked Tanith the best, and she's like the female warrior. But then again,
awesome.
that was obvious from the beginning. As soon as she appeared on page, I was like, "There's my character."
Like I said, I thought about doing Tanith as my fencing name. That just
not gonna happen.
Well, I wanted it when I brought it up to Quentin. Quentin was like, "No, you need a short name, a strong name. It's hard to something that's easy to yell."
Tanith would have been fine.
Tanith probably would have been fine, but apparently I was.
That would have been a good name too.
Been, yeah.
I like your fencing name. No, I like it. Ren is a good one. That's easy.
Yeah.
I like it.
If you continue to read, then I would be interested in what you find.
In more of these books about Tanith.
About people.
About people in general. Okay.
Yeah. So if you continue, let me know.
Okay, so the funny thing was when this happened is that Ben had bought it for me on the Kindle, and he bought it in a trilogy, or in the first trilogy, which is the old ones trilogy, I think is what it's called. So like they're divided into different. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'm not good with the names.
So he bought that whole trilogy for me, and I didn't realize that I was coming to the end of book 1, because on my Kindle it just told me you're 33% done.
When you said you were like, I still have 10 more hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the book's only 7 hours. What do you mean?
Maybe I was
got 10 more hours.
So slow or something. I couldn't figure it out.
And I even told Emily, I was like, I thought Shay was a pretty quick reader, and she goes, so did I.
No, I read the bulk of that book in a day.
That's what I was like. Shay's gonna be like, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I got 10 more hours. I'm like, 10 more hours.
Well, I know. That's what I was so frustrated by. Is the Kindle just wasn't moving, and I was like, how many action sequences can we survive?
Everyone's gonna be dead after book 1.
When I told you, because we were gonna record this 2 weeks ago, when I told you 2 weeks ago, I was like, I'm not anywhere near done. I've still got 10 hours left. I was like, this is who writes a book like this? I was like mad at the book. I'm like, who does this? Like, you can't.
I'm gonna forget the book I listened to. I've been through 4 other books by now. I'm like,
I found out that I was like literally 5 chapters from the end. It was like 20 pages, and I'm like, I could have finished it. I could have finished it on the way there, man.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that was so funny. So that was a completely unnecessary experience, but.
Oh god, you liked it.
It was so great.
So you didn't like Ghastly Bespoke? Because I think at one point you told me you're like, I didn't like him.
He grew on me a little bit, but he doesn't have enough like screen time in this book. Like he just isn't there often enough.
Does he? I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, does he turn to stone?
He does turn to stone in this one.
And you weren't like,
no, I wasn't.
I did.
I wasn't.
I'll have you know.
Okay, well, he just isn't there enough for you to like have cared about him. I'm excited to get to know his character more as the books go forward. Same thing with Tanith, because again, you didn't get a ton of like page time with her. Most of it.
Does Tanith mean something?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a side thing. Everyone's name in, like we were saying with Stephanie's, she changed her name to something that means something to her. Like Skulduggery Pleasant isn't his real name. He goes as Skulduggery Pleasant because he's a skeleton.
Right. Well, and like you don't want people to control you, because if they know your name, they can control you. Yeah.
So they pick that through other things. Like Ghastly Bespoke, I'm sure wasn't plopped out of his mom, and she was like Ghastly Bespoke. He picked that because he ended up getting jacked up in all his face and is ugly.
He's ugly, yeah.
But anyway, so that's why I was wondering if Tanith meant something.
I don't know. I don't think they ever said. But anyway, I love that, and I think that whole choosing of your name, resonates with me, just because 50% of the people in my life know me by the name that I chose, not the one I was born with.
Yeah.
So, or even probably more, that most people call me Shay. It's very, and like, it's weird when I'm in different environments and I hear, so like my nieces and nephews came to the last activity for the fencing group this year.
Oh,
and they played the night games with us there.
Mm-hmm.
And someone just called out, "Hey, Shay," and all of my nieces and nephews turned and looked at me like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Because they weren't used to hearing that.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Wait, is that your name here?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it is.
So it was just, yeah, I really, the choosing of your own name and like making something of yourself, and like, that was cool to me. And I liked that, you know, you wouldn't allow people to control you and all that kind of stuff. So that was cool. I loved the magic because it was explained just enough so that it made sense and you could accept it, but it wasn't over-explained. Mm-hmm. So there's just enough world building without getting boring. Yeah. Like there's just never a boring chapter. There's never a boring sentence in the whole book. I was never bored. I was sad when it was over, and I was surprised too, because I was like, wait, you know, because of the Kindle thing, and I was like, wait, is that the end? I'm like, frick, I'm not done yet. This isn't over. What's going on?
Oh my gosh. And just so you are aware, it does turn Harry Potter, where it like gets darker and darker as you go.
Yeah, that's okay. It'll be fine. Yeah, sure. I'll make it. Sure. It'll be okay. I'm probably going to go through all 18. So
Good.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do that this weekend, but
nope. Not today.
Not today. But over Christmas break, maybe I'm going to pound into those and just totally enjoy them. But yeah.
Freak.
I liked the environment. It was kind of darkish, but it wasn't like vile. You know, it wasn't like...
Well, this one's not dark.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we might get to book 10 and I'll be like, that went
That's
down.
Enough. There's one scene that I don't know which book it's in, and even I was like, ooh, stop.
Well, we'll see.
It's pretty far in there, so you'll get pretty far. Yeah.
Well, I really liked this.
Didn't know. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I don't know how I thought you were gonna whatever, but that was like, oh, this is still good.
No, I loved it. Okay. I was on board the whole time. It was such a pleasant experience. It's been a really long time since I've read a super good book, so that was enjoyable.
Oh yeah. Glad I picked this one.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too.
There was a different one that I was like, I might risk this one, but I think that's one where like I had an emotional bond with it when so if you read it, you'd probably be like, hey.
I have books like that where I have emotional bonds with the book, and when I used to give recommendations, I would have people read these books and they'd be like, all right, and I was like, no, you don't understand, like it's so good, and they're like, okay, they're like, all right, that's fine.
I don't want to.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I have questions as existential questions both for you and the audience though.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you got?
Are books relevant? Are they important? And I don't mean, so I need to specify this. So obviously some books are super important, right? Like, you know, this is how math works.
Sure.
You know, that kind of stuff. Science, technology, all that kind of stuff. We have to have those kind of books. Mm-hmm. But fictional books, are they important?
I think so. I think it keeps your mind open and to let your creativity flow, but I think it also teaches you stuff in a way that, like, I don't know, there's been multiple times where things have come up in life and you're like, oh, I knew that. Because I accidentally read that in something else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where I think it just makes you a fuller person. I mean, I guess it depends on how niche you are. I was like, you know.
If you're only reading one type of book where the protagonist is a rich man saving up.
Right. I was thinking more like I'm not trying to poop on like romance books, but I'm like, how much information can you gather from those? I've just been hearing a lot on like the internet where like every book is the same, and I'm like,
have you tried reading a different book?
Yeah. Stop reading from the same person or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Walk to a different section of the bookstore.
Or squat down and pick something from the bottom. I don't know.
Oh,
but
man.
I think they are. Because I don't know. I feel better about going about it when I'm like, I've read a bunch of books. And people are like, I don't read. And you're like, all right.
That's always surprised me when I come across people who don't read. I remember when we needed a construction man to come into our house, and this is, I don't know, a couple decades ago, it feels like, but it's not quite that long. It feels that long. A long time ago. And this construction man came in the house, and at the time my whole basement was full of a library. I had hundreds of books. I have maybe a quarter of that now because I live in the size of a thimble. But he came in and the look on his face was of like, he was
in awe.
No, not in awe. He was aghast. Like, why would anyone have a book? Wow. And he just was like looking around and he's like, have you read all these? And I was like, most of them, yeah. There's a few on this shelf that I haven't got to yet because they're on my to be read list. And he was like appalled. that I would
What the
waste
frick?
my time reading a book.
See, that's great because I get not having them. I do audiobooks, so like me owning a physical book is like that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
But like not reading or like absorbing the information one way or another, that's preposterous on his account.
But he just thought that was ridiculous that I had that many books. And he's like, yeah, I haven't read a book since high school. And like, he was way older than I was. He was probably in his 50s. Like, and he's like, I haven't read a book since high school.
Boring, isn't it?
Like,
just
what?
Like,
and I think,
what
like,
do you do with your life? Like, what
do you do? Like, what are you doing? And
Yeah.
he thought that what I was doing was a waste of time. And I was like, that is bizarre to me. Because I had another person too. He was a trainer of mine, like when I was weightlifting and stuff. And we had a whole full-on debate while I'm weightlifting one day about the importance of public libraries. And he's like, I think libraries are a waste of time. They're a waste of space. They are a waste of taxpayer dollars, and they're completely unnecessary. And I was like, why? Because you don't believe in like having physical copies of books? And that's like, are you like thinking we should all go digital? Which is fine. There's an argument for that.
Sure.
Like, digital, he's like, no, I just think books are a waste of space and time. And I was like, what do you mean? A waste of time? Like, a library is the hallmark of every civilized, stable civilization.
Even if you're just reading like training books and stuff, like nutrition or whatever. Like, I'm not pooping on any of that. Like, that's nuts to just be like, burn them.
Burn the books. I'm like, what are you talking about? But yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm predicting that within 25 years we won't have public libraries anymore. And I was like, are you nuts?
Do not run for any sort of
thing, I will not vote for you ever.
I will actively negate that.
I mean, I kind of knew this answer that you were going to give me before I even asked it, but I actually am curious what other people think about this. Like, and I mean specifically fictional books. Is it important? Is it relevant? Is it necessary for us to read fiction? Yeah. What do you think about that? How would you defend it? If your answer is no, how do you defend it? If your answer is yes, how do you defend it? Yeah. Like, man, I hope we get some wild comments on this one. Anyway, but that was one of my questions. Do I have any more questions? I am. Oh, this I do. Sorry, I have to write all these things here. I need to put this like up on a teleprompter or something at some point when we're
bring a little clip. Put it on the card.
Billions and $billion riches, so I can look it up.
Dude, not to be off track, but I was gonna be like, me and Emily should all read the same murder mystery book and only be able to and see if we can figure it out. But now that I know you don't like murder,
I'll read it. You pick it, I'll read it.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, I'll do it. I haven't done any Agatha Christie's. We could do an Agatha Christie.
I've read almost all of them.
Okay, we'll pick one you haven't read yet, and we'll do that one. Of course, then you know how it works now, though.
Some of them, I'm like, I don't know, man. Yeah. Where did that come from? And sometimes it's hard because it's like you don't know the times, or at least I don't know the times. So then they do stuff, and you're like, oh, that was an option?
Didn't know that.
I didn't know. Yeah.
That's how I always feel about Sherlock Holmes books. You're like, oh, there's the resolution. Where did it come from? He never builds it up.
Hounds of Baskerville. My mom and I read that to like read classics. And yeah, at the end, not to be spoiler, but there was stuff that like, how am I supposed to know that?
Yeah, it never got mentioned ever.
How was I like just supposed to know that the Moors produced that?
Yeah, we didn't know.
How do I know that?
We don't know.
I'm just supposed to know?
Maybe people who lived back then knew more.
See, that's why I'm like in the Agatha Christie. Maybe they just knew.
Maybe
that's the thing and whatever. But I'm like, I didn't know.
I just read a short story a few days ago. It was all about baseball, and it was using all the slang from the 1940s about baseball, and like it would have made sense growing up that way.
Right,
you know?
Right.
I was so lost. I had to look up so many words. Yeah. And finally I gave up. I'm like, don't, just read it for the language and let it go, because you're not going to understand the culture around this.
Yeah, I'm not going to be invested as much as they are.
America's pastime is not the America's pastime anymore.
I'd pick a book that's a nowadays thing.
That'd be fun.
Just so then we'd like understand what's happening.
We should do that, and we should let the reader or the watchers, people do it with us too. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's that.
If you're into reading.
If
you're literate. I always feel bad when I'm like, do you read? And then I feel like I'm asking them if they're literate or not. I know you're literate. No. I know you all can read.
I've given up on that. I don't want to ask people anymore. I get too many sad answers.
Sometimes I like asking just so they have to say no, and then they feel bad.
No,
I'm a bad person. But so on the rare occasion, I'm like, do you even read? And they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, all right, well.
Okay.
And they're like, ooh.
Awkward conversations.
Yeah.
Okay. I think books that made me think differently about the universe and made me think more with a greater open mind. And most of these are children's books, just because there's just like one lines here and there that just really inspired me. and opened up the way I think. So number 1 would be The Search for Delicious by Natalie Babbitt. It's a children's book for sure. You can read it in maybe an hour, tops.
Oh, okay.
And it is about how a community has to come together to define what delicious means in the dictionary.
Oh, jeez.
And it's great.
Okay.
It's such a wonderful, positive ending. So happy. But it's about, I love the perseverance of the main character. Anyway, it's Search for Delicious by Natalie Babbitt. Okay, number 2, also by Natalie Babbitt, Tuck Everlasting.
Wow. No thanks.
It's so good.
Wait, is that the fairy one?
No. It's about the girl that meets the family that lives forever, the Tucks. And she has to decide if she wants to live forever or if she wants to have a normal life. The play is way sadder than the book. Holy, the musical cried my eyes out at the end. But the book is a children's book, so it ends much more like on a child level of bittersweet, but it makes you think about the importance of living your life to the fullest and making it matter now.
I'm not gonna read that.
No, it's so good. It's so positive.
That stuff makes me upset.
No, it won't make you upset. I promise. The book isn't like that because it only takes place in one day. It's one day and it changes her way of thinking about being involved in her life.
That stuff makes me think later. About where you're like, kids die. And I'm like, no, I don't need to leave this and be like, why did I doom scroll for 3 hours today?
It's so good. It's so uplifting. It's okay. You don't have to read it. I'm not recommending it to you anyway. Next one, Last of the Really Great Wingdoodles, which I think I talked about last season. But that one is by Julie Andrews.
Oh, how nice.
So Mary Poppins wrote a book. I think that's fantastic. Or The Queen of Genovia, if you would rather. Yeah. It's such a good book, but it makes you think critically about scientific issues and, which side you want to fall on of the progress of science.
What was it called again?
The Last of the Really Great Wingdoodles.
Okay.
And it also makes you think about color and imagination and how important that is. And using your brain for more than just going, oh, that tree's green. Like, you got to think it through a little.
Okay.
So anyway, I love that book. That's probably my favorite of those 3. Did I write any others down? I don't know. Those are the 3 children's books I think that changed my entire view on life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I really liked those. I don't think I have anything else. This has gone on long enough. I'm curious. Everybody tell us your favorite movies, music.
Oh my gosh, your books. Your books. And let us know if you've read either of the 2 or the 4th that we were going to read.
Yeah.
Or have read.
Whatever
the freak.
Just get in here and talk. That's what we want. Comment.
Tell your friends about us.
Thank you for following us along all season.
Yeah.
And
it's been fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, bye.
Bye.